Welcome back to Nature Tech Family. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what?
Snares.
Why do you want to learn about snares?
So I can be prepared for a survival situation, like if the house burns down.
Okay, yeah, that's a good reason. It's a good reason. Now, what we have here are different materials that are used for snares, okay? And we're going to do a little experiment here. What is this? You know what this is? You know what kind of material?
Shoestring.
No, it's called paracord. It's called paracord, and then this here...
We're going to be testing these on my stuffed cat.
Well, first one we're going to test on you, actually.
What?
Yeah, you watch. You'll see. And then this one here, do you know what this is?
Fishing line.
Yeah, it is fishing line, but it's a certain type. It's called braided fishing line. So it's super thin, but this little string here can hold 80 pounds.
OMG.
Now, I want you, this is about the weight of a rabbit. I want you to see which one feels like it would be most effective. So, give me your arm. Don't worry, Daddy wouldn't hurt you. Okay, now, I want you to lift that up. Oh, let's get it off your sleeve.
I'll just pull my sleeve down.
Okay, let's do that, bud. Alright, and then go ahead and lift it and see how tight it feels, okay? Lift it all the way. Now you feel that?
No.
Alright, set it down.
I can't even feel that.
Okay, let's try a different one. Alright, and here's Daddy's favorite.
Fishing line.
Braided fishing line.
Why is that your favorite?
You will see. Now, pull this one up, okay?
I need to get my sleeve down.
Okay.
Okay.
And in you go, and up. Oop. Okay.
Ow, 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 ow.
Aha! Now we learned something,
Jeez,
didn't we?
that hurts.
Isn't that crazy, the difference?
Oh.
Okay, look at this. Paracord is what is sometimes recommended for snares. But as you saw, it's very soft and it cushions. So it's not nearly as effective as Daddy's braided fishing line. And the reason is, see how thin this is? So it gets right in there and you can feel a lot more because all that weight is distributed. It's distributed over just a very small area. So when you're snaring something like a rabbit or something that's light, you need something that's going to keep that weight distributed over something thin. So you want to use a really thin thing like this or our legal snare. This here, the stainless steel. Okay. Now, do you know what this is here? Why we have a washer? What's that washer do? You don't know?
Hold it together?
Yes, it does. It holds it together. Because look, when you use a snare like this, okay, if you don't have it attached to a spring or something, it's going to release as soon as the animal gets tired. But this, should we show them with Kitty? Are you ready to bring out Kitty? Ready? Oh,
Be
boy.
careful.
Okay, we're going to show on Kitty. So this is called a mechanical lock. And as you can see, no, don't do that, buddy. As you can see, the mechanical lock keeps it tight. Here, feel that. See if you can get it to pull out. See?
Ow.
Okay. So now.
I just broke my nail.
Uh-oh. Now the way you release it is this. Just pull up on that washer. So what are we going to do right now? Should we go prepare for snares for tonight? Want to go carve some stuff?
And continuing this episode, we said we were going to do some carving. So, we got our knives ready. Let's get to it. I'm using my common spear knife.
Do you know what we're going to do with this?
No.
Okay, this is going to be anchored in the ground. And then this is our trigger. It's going to be hooked on like this. We're going to bend the sapling down, put the trigger on here, and the sapling is going to pull it up when the rabbit pulls it. So this one here, we need to carve that sharp so we can drive it into the ground, okay? You do that, and then this here, it's really important. You got to take all this bark off and make it smooth. Otherwise the bark will catch on the other bark and it won't be as quickly released.
I think I'll do these.
Okay, you do those two and I'll do this one. That way we have enough in case one of them breaks, okay? There you go, just like that.
I'm better with doing things in the air.
Okay. Alright, guys got one sharp. Now we gotta get the bark off the bottom. See how I'm flattening the bottom here?
How about this? I cut the bark off. You make them sharp.
Okay.
Go. Nice.
Okay. Now, you see here how I made this flat? Okay. And this side's flat. Look, buddy. So they'll hold on to each other a little better. If they're round, they wouldn't hold as good. Alright, one more. Last one.
For this, we can go set up the snares.
Okay, so we found a really good rabbit trail here, and a perfect tree for it.
I keep getting poked in the head by it.
Okay, you ready?
I got him poked in the head 6 times today.
Now watch, you ready? Watch out. Otherwise it's gonna hit you. Okay, stand back. Now watch how high it is, okay? Okay? So, the reason you want it tall like this is because we have a lot of coyotes around here. And if it's not tall like this, where the rabbit will hang up here, if the rabbit was hanging down here, the coyotes will steal it from us.
Like this.
Yep, just like that. So we need it to be tall. Alright, you ready to get the stuff and put it together?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, guys, so we've got the perfect tree ready, and Dad is just putting on
What's this? What is that?
thing.
It's a swivel. Now you need this in order for it to be legal in this state.
Okay, so we've got our stick, our snare, our tree.
Okay.
Next, you've got to hammer the stick into the ground.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And that.
And for this, you can use either a hammer or a rock, and you have to hammer it right under the swivel.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's why we put the swivel on first. So we're gonna put that right on it. Now it's really important that you have this facing the snare.
And
You
also,
don't want it this way or this way, facing.
and when you're doing this project, either if you're a kid, do it with an adult. If you're an adult, you can just do it.
Okay.
Because for this, when you're carving, it can be very painful.
You mean dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous and painful if you don't do it right.
So
Oh,
make
wow.
sure if you're a kid to be supervised by an adult.
Okay, there it is. And it's pointing directly at our tree, so it'll be pointing directly at our snare. All right, you ready for the next part? Okay, now we're gonna be attaching the string to the tree, and we're gonna be using the braided fishing line. And the other good thing about this is how strong the knots are, even a simple knot. So I just turn it over on itself, pull it through, and just make a loop.
You want me to get the tree?
Yep, why don't you get the tray and we'll attach it to the swivel. Now to attach the string, simply pass the loop through, open up the loop, take the end of the string and pass it through. And it's attached. Alright, so we have the string on, so now we need to measure it. We want it about there, okay? Now we're going to put that trigger on there. So do that, make a loop, put it over top, pull it tight. Yeah. Do that. How many times do you think? Yeah, you should probably do about 4, just to be safe. 3, 4. Okay, so that's just going to hold it.
Okay, guys, so we kind of had to adjust a little stake.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we slanted it in a little so that our trigger, our little hook, can grip it better. Now, are we ready to test how sensitive it is?
Yes.
All right, step back a little.
I want to do it.
All right, what you're going to do is this little bottom piece, flip it out, okay?
Jeez.
But be careful, it's really sensitive. Flip up. Oh! Perfect.
That scared me.
That's perfect. Okay, so we got our trigger on. The rest is to add on our snare. So we're going to take the end, the loop, we're going to make another loop.
Be careful when you make these if you're using a pine tree, they're pokey.
Yes, they are.
I've gotten poked like 10 times in the gut today.
Alright, so there's our loop. And I'm just going to attach it to this loop. And running snare through that loop. Okay, there we go. So we're tight. And if you want to know how to make these snares, we're going to be having a video on making snares so you can make them yourself. Now once you got it attached, if you have extra string, what you want to do is you're going to wrap that string around and get it so that when the rabbit pulls on it, it's pulling from the bottom of the trigger, because it's going to be a lot more sensitive if it's pulling down here than if you were to leave it up here. So I'm going to wrap that around, get it good and tight, and now we're ready to set our snare. Okay, so here we have the snare set. As you can see, I made the top part tear shaped, and that's so that the rabbit's ears can come in, and that way it doesn't snare and the snare is around the rabbit's ears. I like the rabbit's ears to come through, and then all that I'm gripping is the rabbit's neck and not part of its ears. Now, what we're going to need to do, because this rabbit trail here is kind of wide, it's about like a foot wide, is we're going to have to start putting up sticks to guide the rabbits in. So we're going to corral them in by putting up like a little fence so that we know that they're going to go through the part with a snare. You ready to do that? Okay, so we have our corral here, so it's ready so that the rabbit's just going to come through here. Another really good way to do this is if you have deep snow, just stamp down the snow in a trail and then just put that snare right in the center of that trail. The rabbits will tend to follow that trail because it's easier for them to walk on, because it's all stamped down and compact.
Okay guys, so it's the next morning. We are going out to check the snare, and hopefully we have a rabbit. It's up, it's up!
Is it?
Oh yeah!
There we got one. Where is it?
It's up! OMG!
Oh, wow.
Thank you for your meal, little rabbit.
Well, Kevin, we got a rabbit. So tell me, how do you feel now that we got a rabbit?
Happy, excited, and a little sad.
Yeah, why are you sad?
Because we had to take its life.
We did, yep. And I'm going to show you something here. See, this is something I wanted you to realize. In survival, a lot of survival is about taking something else's life so that you can survive, so that you can live. And there's nothing wrong with taking another animal's life as long as you do it with respect. And right here, this is a custom that goes back to our ancestors in Europe. This is called the last meal. And this here, this is off of a tree that stays green in the wintertime. And you see, you look around us here in wintertime, how everything's dead and dying, but there's certain trees that continue to live.
Like the tree that we used the snare on.
Yep. So by feeding this to this rabbit, we're saying that we want the life of rabbits to continue in the future. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right in there, okay? I'm going to give it its last meal. Now you come over here and take your glove off. And you put your hand on it. And you tell it thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to tell it?
I'm sorry for taking your life. That's all part of survival.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah, remember, there's nothing wrong with taking another animal's life, as long as you do it with respect. Alright, we fed it its last meal. We said thank you. Ready to go show Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whoa, that's a sensitive one.
I almost touched it. Okay. So that's just setting up the snare.
Oh, it's so sensitive.
Usually you would be using a rabbit, but in this case we're using Mittens, my stuffed cat,
Oh.
as an example. And we are going to show you how sensitive this thing is.
Okay,
Literally.
it's ready.
Watch how easily this could get a rabbit.
All the way in.
Head in.
Whoa!
Mittens in the air.
It worked.
No,
That
it
is
looks
sensitive.
like she's flying.
We need to make it cat size. Okay, go.
So the rabbit would walk along. He'd then go in there.
Okay, ready?
This would get triggered.
Watch your face. Oh!